I thought it would be a harmless joke, just a little game, a little revenge. But by Monday morning, my husband was gone, and it was all because of what happened at the company Christmas party. My name is Emily. I was married to Daniel for 6 years, at least. I was. When we first met, Daniel was funny, caring, and full of life. But over the years, things changed. Work became his entire world. He worked late. He answered emails during dinner. He spent weekends on conference calls. Meanwhile, I sat alone, waiting, hoping, wondering if he even noticed me anymore. The worst part, he worked for a huge marketing company, and his boss, Richard, seemed to own every second of Daniel's life. Every family dinner interrupted, every vacation canceled, every anniversary forgotten. It always came back to Richard. I hated that. Man, Daniel never saw it. He admired him, talked about him constantly. Richard is a genius. Richard built this company. Richard trusts me. Sometimes I felt like Richard was more important to my husband than I was. Then December arrived. Company announced its annual Christmas party. Daniel asked if I wanted to attend. Honestly, I didn't, but then I got an idea, a stupid idea, that would destroy everything. I wanted Daniel to feel jealous. Just once. I wanted him to remember I still existed. I wanted him to look at me the way he used to, so I bought a stunning red dress, the kind I hadn't worn in years. When I came downstairs that evening, Daniel looked surprised. For a moment, I thought my plan was already working. "You look amazing," he said. Those were the first kind words he'd given me in months, but I wanted more. Much more. At the party, music filled the ballroom, people laughed, champagne glasses clinked. Everyone seemed happy. Then I saw Richard, tall, confident, surrounded by employees. The perfect target. Daniel was talking with coworkers. When I walked over to Richard, I smiled back. We started talking. Nothing inappropriate, just conversation, but I made sure Daniel could see us. I laughed a little louder. I touched Richard's arm. Once, maybe twice. Every few minutes I glanced toward Daniel, waiting, expecting jealousy, anger, something, anything. But Daniel didn't react. Not at all. That annoyed me, so I pushed harder, much harder. I danced with Richard. Not closely, but enough. People started noticing. A few employees exchanged looks. Someone even whispered something. Still, Daniel said nothing. By the end of the night, I felt frustrated. My plan had failed, or so I thought. When we got home, Daniel was unusually quiet. I expected an argument. Instead, he simply went to bed. No questions, no accusations, nothing. The silence felt strange. Very strange. The next morning, he acted normal. Too normal. He made coffee. Read the news. Then left for work. Again. Nothing. By Sunday evening, I started feeling guilty. Maybe I had gone too far. Maybe I should apologize. But before I could, something unexpected happened. My phone rang. The caller was Richard. I almost didn't answer. When I did, his voice sounded nervous. "Emily, I think there's a problem." My stomach dropped. What problem? There was a long pause. Then he said something I never expected. Daniel resigned. I froze. What? He came to my office first thing Saturday morning. My heart started pounding. Richard continued. He quit. Immediately. I couldn't believe it. Daniel loved that job. He practically lived for it. Why would he do that? I asked. Another pause. Then Richard sighed. He said he finally realized something. I felt sick. What? Richard hesitated. Then he answered. He said he spent years choosing work over his wife. I didn't know what to say. He said watching you with me made him understand how badly he failed you. Suddenly, my fake flirting didn't feel funny anymore. It felt horrible. But Richard wasn't finished. There's more. My hands were shaking. What more? After he resigned, he bought a one-way ticket. The room spun. A ticket where? I don't know, Emily. He didn't tell anyone. The call ended, and panic took over. I called. Daniel. No answer. Again. No answer. Again. Straight. To voicemail, I texted him dozens of times. Nothing. Then I rushed upstairs. His closet was half empty, row. Bags were missing. His passport was gone. So was his laptop. My husband had disappeared. That night I barely slept. I kept replaying everything, the party, the flirting, the dancing, the silence. Had I pushed him away? Had I destroyed my marriage? Monday morning arrived. Still no message, no call, nothing. Then, around noon, an email appeared. From Daniel. My hands trembled as I opened it. The message was short. Very short. It said, Emily, the party opened my eyes, not because you flirted with Richard, because I saw how easy it was for someone else to make you smile. I realized I stopped trying years ago. I became a stranger living in our house. You deserved better. Maybe you still do. I'm taking time away to figure out who I am without work. Don't look for me. Daniel. I stared at the screen. Tears rolled down my face. Wanted to call him. To explain. Everything. To tell him it was fake. Just a stupid attempt to get his attention. But it was too late. Weeks passed. Then months. We exchanged a few emails. Nothing. More eventually. The divorce papers arrived, and I signed them. Not because I wanted to. Because I understood something. Painful. Daniel wasn't leaving. Because I flirted, he was leaving because our marriage had already been broken. The Christmas party simply exposed the truth. A year later, I heard from a mutual friend. Daniel had moved to another country, started his own business, looked happier than ever. And me? I learned a lesson I will never forget. Sometimes people don't leave because of one mistake. They leave because of thousands of small moments that slowly push them away. I thought jealousy would bring my husband closer. Instead, it showed us how far apart we already were. And by Monday, wasn't my husband anymore. He was just a memory.